Good evening and welcome to the Select Board meeting of October 22nd, 2024. I'd like to welcome everyone to another exciting venture in open meeting and civics. First on our agenda is public comment. We ask that you identify who you are.
Could you just make mention that Hector is remote, just for people that are watching?
Oh, sure. I apologize, thank you. Our fifth board member, Hector, is remote. Hi, Hector! And he will be participating throughout the evening as well. So back to our public comment. I will ask that you identify yourself with your name and where you're from. And you are welcome to speak on anything that is not on the agenda. You have a total of 2 minutes to do so. And with that, is there...
Hi,
Hi!
Linda Hathaway, the town clerk, and I come to give you a great election report. We have over 50% of our vote by mail ballots back in. Yes, another 1,000 to wait to come in by November 5th. Early voting is progressing great. We have had 234 people in person in 3 days. So we did 81 people today, 57 yesterday, and 96 on Saturday. Early voting on Saturday is 9 to 5 this weekend. Still getting voters to register, so if you know any kids out there that aren't registered yet, get them registered. They can go online and do it online. They can come to the office. They could even come in on Saturday, register to vote, and vote early. So I'm excited about this, yes.
Yeah.
I have my party shirt on. Yes, elections are a party and all 5,676 people are invited to come. Whether they show up or not, that's their choice, but they're all invited. And I am Linda Hathaway, the town clerk and chief election official.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Linda,
you.
very much.
What?
Is there anybody else with public comment? I don't see anybody's hands raised, remote either. Okay, so we'll move on to board member updates. Does anybody have any updates?
I have one. I will be attending the Eagle Scout Court of Honor on the 30th of November.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
For
that
Thomas
very much.
Hastings. Yep.
Updates?
No. I guess my only update is that I've been coordinating with the Lake Boone folks about the PFAS getting into Lake Boone, and I'll continue to coordinate that.
Thank you.
And I know the Board of Health is working on that too, so.
Okay. Courtney?
I have been following the planning board meetings with Masters Academy, and they are moving along in their request for permitting, so they still are in the the hearing phase. Their hearing was continued to get some more information, and I don't have that date in front of me, but
It will be November
I think it's
3rd, I
13th.
believe. Oh, no, that's not a,
13th. That
November
you
13th,
reminded me.
yes.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
the ZBA will be October 28th.
Yeah.
Planning board will be November 13th.
So,
Thank you. Hector, do you have any updates?
No updates.
Okay. My only update right now with the reuse committee for the Old Town Hall is we are still in the process of collecting surveys, and I believe from my understanding, we are still getting some in. That will close at the end of this month, and we will be meeting in November to do tabulation and decide on where we're gonna go from there, depending on the results.
we have an addition.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of the town hall reuse, the local access advisory committee met this afternoon and voted to support a
Can you speak up?
The Local Access Advisory Committee met this afternoon and voted to support a performance of Macbeth in the town hall in March.
Oh, fun.
Wonderful. That's awesome to hear, actually. We're gonna have Shakespeare again. I love it. And I'm sure it'll be as successful as the performance we had outside in the park.
Yeah, yeah, so the library will have books, you know, for people to read and so forth. It's a joint
That's
effort,
great.
but
Thank you. Town Administrator's Report.
Thank you. Tomorrow, the planning board is holding an MBTA Communities Workshop at the Community Center at 7 p.m. The workshop will focus on the location or locations of a new multifamily housing district in Stow. So for folks who are interested in that, please attend tomorrow evening. The town clerk made mention of the elections, so I will just remind folks that the times for each early voting day can be found right on the front page of our website. In some very exciting news, the town has received 2 grants. The first one for the Hudson Road 117 project in the amount of $1,100,000. This is the first time the town has received a community one-stop grant. In addition, we're receiving a second one-stop grant in the amount of $98,000 to support the comprehensive plan update. A huge thanks to Valerie Ortiz, who submitted both of those applications. As I said, it's very exciting when we receive state funding for all of our projects. So great job, very exciting. The formal press release from the state will be coming out Thursday once they make the formal announcements. So stay tuned for that. A reminder that our Stow case is taking place next week, Wednesday, October 30th, from 6 to 8 at Pompo. We encourage kids to come for trick-or-treating. We will have snacks, door prizes, no-cost raffles, crafts, vendors, photo booth areas. The departments will be represented, and the town clerk will be there for early voting as well. So for those that want to do some shopping, take in some treats and vote, can do that all next Thursday. Should be a great event. And then finally, the recommended hours for trick-or-treating on Halloween are 5 to 8 p.m.
Okay. Is that everything?
That is everything.
That was a lot. Thanks. Okay, next on our agenda is our appointment for the Neshoba Regional School District Stow School Committee members. Thank you for coming. To make the joint appointment to fill the vacant seat in acceptance with Mass General Law, Chapter 41, Section 11. And the applicant is John McFarland. John, I'm going to invite you to sit up here, just so that you now are going to be on camera. And all school committee members are in front row with us, so that's wonderful. I will open it up for any questions from either board.
Can I invite Mr. McFarland to give us a little introduction and some background as to why he's running for school committee?
Sure.
Linda Hathaway's gonna be a hard act to follow with the party shirt, but I'm gonna try. My name is John McFarland. My wife and I have lived in Stow since 2017, and we have 2 lovely kids, aged 3 and 9. I graduated from college with a degree in psychology, but I started working for my family business with my parents, doing property management, and that's what I do now. Property management work for myself. And having a school-age child, I found myself watching the school committee meetings online, and surprisingly enough, I enjoyed watching them. And for a while now, I felt like I wanted to give back to the community, but I didn't know exactly how. And so when I heard there was a vacancy for the school committee, I thought, hey, maybe this is my opportunity to serve. I'm sure I don't appreciate everything the school committee does, and I'm sure it'll be a learning experience for me. But hopefully, if there's any needs the school committee has, hopefully I can help fill them. And if that sounds like something that I would be a good fit for, I'd be honored to receive, to fill the vacancy.
Any questions?
I can think of no questions.
Well, have one. With your experience in your professional life, do you feel that that is something that could be beneficial for the school committee? And how?
And how? Well, I don't know exactly if there's any. I've been involved with some construction projects, and I don't know if that would somehow be helpful as the new high school is being built. But I've had a kind of surface experience in kind of everything, working with banks, getting the loans, reviewing plans, hiring subcontractors, inspecting the job site, and working with the city to get approvals and inspectors' approvals and all those kind of things. And so if that was something that the school committee might need as the project goes on, I can certainly, hopefully, help with that. And I mean, as a parent, I like to think that hopefully I could offer some level of understanding for what the school may or may not need. And I feel like the school is kind of the heart of the community, and if I understand the town's budget correctly, it's the largest line item in the budget by far. And I know one of the things that the school committee is commissioned with is public relations. And I think maybe it's more PTO, but I know the end of the year picnic and the Halloween party and all that are great, amazing outreaches to the citizenry. And I think it's a great way to show the city show the town that we care about them. All this tax money that's provided, that we'd like to invite you in and show you what's going on here and show that we care about the community. It's open to everyone, which I love. And I don't know if somehow I can also be of help with that. And I know part of the communication, I know some of the town, the latest news updates are kind of like 2 or 3 years old. I don't know if there's some way I can help update, keep the city, the town's website updated. I don't know, but those are the things that come to mind.
Great. Do you guys have any questions of the candidate?
No, I do not either.
Okay, and if the board does not, then I think,
About Hector.
Hector, do you have any questions?
Nope, I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Then I will, in this case, take, do we need to do, I'm a bit confused, we can go right to the vote, correct?
You need a motion,
Okay,
and then you would ask everyone to fill out their ballot.
yep,
After they write it out, you'll ask Hector to give his response, and then you'll have everyone turn their ballots over and
okay.
then declare the vote.
Right, and the reason why we're doing this, just for explanation to the public, we're fulfilling two criteria. The agreement with the Neshoba Regional School Committee, and what was decided upon was that they did not want votes by hand so that it would not influence unjustly from one to another. But because we have to follow open meeting law, we can't have a secret ballot per se. So that's why we're doing the paper ballot. The one exception tonight will be Hector, since he's not actually physically here. So what I'm gonna ask is that everybody make their vote on paper, and I will ask Hector first for his vote, and then we will show the other votes themselves. Okay? So,
Mr. Chair,
yep,
in a joint vote of the Select Board and the remaining Stow representatives of the Neshoba Regional School Committee, I move to appoint John McFarland to fill the vacancy for a Stow representative on the Neshoba Regional School Committee effective from now until the May 2025 annual town election.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded, so therefore we are ready for a vote.
Circle around the
Yep, circle. And once everybody is done theirs, has everybody made their choice?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Hector, your vote?
Aye.
Okay, so the rest of us, select them empty.
I would ask everyone to read their vote.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can show it, but you should all state your vote for the
Yes.
record, please.
Me first?
Yes, please.
Do I have to say my name? Ingeborg Hageman, aye.
Courtney Fraser, aye.
Megan Birch McMichael, aye.
JT Toole, aye.
Scott Powell, aye.
Leah Viverito, aye.
Lindsay Skowitz, aye.
Let the record show it is unanimous. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And condolences.
I really
you
liked
very
your
much.
statement, by the way. That answered some of my questions, that was perfect.
I appreciate that, thank you.
Well, have fun.
Yeah. Have a
So,
great time.
Thank you,
for
everyone.
getting
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you having us and for managing this for us, we appreciate it.
Absolutely. Moving on to our next item, it is an appointment to the Neshoba Regional School District Audit Advisory Committee. It is a joint appointment again, but this time with the Finance Committee or representative thereof.
And there is nobody here from the Finance Committee.
Okay.
So do we do our vote and they do it another day?
So I can relay from their meeting, they were all in support of Maureen continuing to serve in this role. I will say on their behalf, they were very impressed that Maureen took the time to submit written documentation to you and them as the joint appointing authority on the audit for the school. So they were in favor. They were planning to send a representative to speak on their behalf. I will do that since no one's here.
Okay.
Only because I'm unclear with this, because it's kind of a gray area. Are we permitted with that recommendation from you to move forward with a vote?
So it's up to you. It's a joint appointment, so it would still be, I would assume 5. If there's nobody here from the Finance Committee, it'd still pass. But it's up to you if you, so the reason we have not had this on the agenda is because the Finance Committee did not meet all summer. And they had their first meeting last week, 2 weeks ago. So it's up to you if you want to wait. We don't have any other candidates, so I'm not sure anyone else would challenge it.
Okay. How do other board members feel? Do we feel comfortable moving forward?
Well, did the Finance Committee take a formal vote or they just discussed it?
They just discussed it. I don't think they've, actually, they may have. They may have voted to have the chair come and speak and represent. Yeah, I think they voted to have him speak on their behalf.
I'm fine doing
support.
this, then we may just wanna just, instead of saying in a joint vote, maybe amend this to say, I move to appoint as a representative of the select board, but as, instead of joint,
Okay,
be my read.
all right.
Unless you can stand in as an ad hoc, but no, okay.
Thoughts?
I think that's fine. I would be fine with it that way.
Yeah, I think I'll amend the motion. So
Okay, and Hector, you're fine with it? Okay, well then, I'll take the motion amended.
Mr. Chair, I move to appoint Maureen Mazzone to the Neshoba Regional School District Audit Advisory Committee for a term expiring June 30th, 2025.
Second.
All those in favor? Hector?
Aye.
Ingeborg?
Aye.
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 And the chair votes aye. Let the record show that the select board voted unanimously. Okay, moving right along here. We have a special permit for the Stow Gobbler for Thursday, November 28th, 2024, Stow Community Chest. Can I get the motion on this first in this case?
Sure. I move to grant a permit for the Stow Gobbler 5K Run Walk for Thursday, November 28th, 2024, from 8 to 11 a.m., starting at Hale Middle School and sponsored by the Stow Community Chest.
Second.
Okay, is someone here?
Yes, Adrian is on.
And Caitlin is.
Yeah, I'm trying to get on. I'm Hector, you need to figure it out.
Yeah, the video's not working for us.
We can hear you loud and
We can hear
clear.
you definitely loudly.
Woo! Am I yelling at you all? Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Now you should be able to turn your video on.
And let me see, hang on.
Oh, there you are.
There we are. Oh, hi.
Oh,
Caitlin, how'd you do that?
magic. I hit the video button. Did it
Got
work?
it. Oh my God, okay.
Technology will not beat us.
You know what? We are going to be the most fun you are going to have tonight.
I don't know. Linda Hathaway really set the tone, and I did not. I'm wearing black, not party. So
All right, so let me not bore you. I'm going to be done in like 5 minutes. I swear to God, because I think we have everything. So along with Caitlin, I have to applaud her because she got accepted to the Boston Marathon.
Yes, she did.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations.
thank you. Thank you.
It's huge.
Very exciting.
Yeah, so Caitlin and I are here. We want to ask for a permit for the Stow Gobbler for November 28th. It's the 17th year. Historically, it was students that did it. And then, of course, the students went to school and the parents took over and they're like, no, we're done with this. Yeah, we're done. So the Stow Community Chest took it on 3 years ago and we did it. Originally, the race started at Bowes, which was awesome. And Caitlin was a really good contact with Bowes. But as we know now, they're the Masters Academy. Caitlin has built up a really good relationship with the Masters Academy. And they said, while we can't do it this year, maybe we can do it next year. So, you know, that's okay. But they're not closing a door, they're opening a window. So we went to our next it was like, oh God, what are we going to do? So the man with the plan, Chief Michael Salisi, is like,
In the back.
he comes up with a plan and he's like, let's go for Bike for the Woods. So we did that and everyone seems to love it. So that's what we're doing. We're doing the route for Bike for the Woods. The PD and the fire department are all on board. We've got 6 PDs. We've got 2 EMTs and an ambulance on site. And everyone knows the route. So I think we're okay with that. And then everyone is dispersed on the road closures. So I don't see a problem with it. Caitlin, do you see anything?
No. I mean, we've worked hand in hand with the police. They have a good safety plan. We have started to really familiarize ourselves with the route so that we'll have updated signage this year. Reaching out to neighbors, getting plans to reach out to neighbors. I don't know if anybody there lives on Carriage Lane.
That's fine.
As
Fine,
we
it's
go
my neighborhood.
through. So we're trying to, really strike the community spirit of this event and excited that this gives us a chance to continue it.
Totally. And parking is detailed in the operation plan. We have Hale Centre, St. Isidore's Old Fire Station, Town Building, First Parish Church and Tabernacle Church. I mean, we literally cannot do any more than this. I just want to let you know that we raised 84 million in grants last year. 84,000. And
84 million would be amazing.
we netted 24 in the Gobbler
The
last year.
Gobbler. So it was like a little more than a quarter of our total fundraising.
Correct.
Amazing.
That's great.
So to answer all your questions, you have 7 questions. The only question that we don't have an answer to is the general liability insurance naming the town of Stow.
Nope, it's been done. Joyce.
Yep.
It was, I covered that just before this meeting. So we had insurance for ourselves and we just needed the additional coverage. So Joyce should have an email covering the town of Stow as additionally insured.
Okay, great.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Love it.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for that very thorough and enthusiastic presentation. Does the board have any questions?
That's a great thing.
Are you where are you doing pickup, like packet pickup and stuff this year?
At Hale.
Okay,
So specifically so that we don't confuse, we know that we're gonna end up having people who go to the old site and we're gonna have signage there too, but we figured we'll do the pickup there. We've reserved it with the school. They expect us to be in their parking lot. And then people know where they're coming.
right, that makes
For the
sense.
start.
Yep, makes
Yeah.
sense. Awesome.
Great.
Hector?
Hector, you have a question?
Yeah, I was trying to understand the road closure thing. Are the roads gonna be closed throughout the entire race, or they're just gonna be rolling
That's a
closure?
question for Bob Salisi if he's here.
Oh, he's here.
Thank you, Hector. First I wanna say this is really great. I love seeing this race continue on. It's a big deal for Stow. It's really important, and to have Adrian and Caitlin come down and say, listen, we still wanna continue, what can we do? We went through a few meetings. It was great that we were able to come up with a solution. It wasn't, I know Adrian gave me credit, but really it was a team effort there, so I gotta put credit where credit's due. As far as the road, it's gonna be a monitored course, so one of the reasons I chose this route instead of going a different longer road is because it'll only be shut down for a few minutes. From Crescent Street to 117 up to Packard. Once we open up 117 again, 117 will be opened up, and that's only gonna be about a 10 to 12 minute closure. We're gonna try to, and then once they're up Packard Road, as we just keep hitting different roadways, it's going to reopen those roads. We're gonna, it'll be always open for emergency access, but just like Delaney Street was, Harvard Street, Highway Brook, cars will still be able to travel, but we'll have enough police officers there to remind people to slow down. As far as once we're on Boxborough Road and West Acton Road, I'm gonna be working with the highway department because we have a lot of cones that we can put out, and we can set those up in different areas and do a kind of like a runner's lane on those roads as well. And then as the last person follows, you'll see that the detail officers will be converging together. So you'll have a wider 2-3 cruisers taking up and slowly moving. The road's not blocked, but it's gonna be a slow move. But we wanna keep it open for people, because we know it's a travel day, right? It's a big travel day, people wanna get where they're going, and we wanna keep the roads as open as we can. But this is early in the morning too, so hopefully we won't have too much of a traffic, but if people plan ahead, they'll get through. So, does that answer your question?
Yes, it does, thanks, Mike.
No problem.
Do you have any other questions, Hector?
Nope.
Do you have any questions, Hector?
Thank you.
I have a question. Who's
People's
attending from the board?
Who's coming?
This is a volunteer event. We put in serious amount of work. Chief Salisi is donating his time. How many people from the board are going to attend? And how many people can I expect to say hello to?
Oh, my whole family will be running. We've been training for it. So all 4 of us will be there. My cross-country runners and my husband and I will be running. It is a family event. I actually used to run the Run for the Woods, like as the race director. So it is, I love this course. This is a great course. I'm very excited about this personally. So yes.
What time is the event again?
8 a.m.
8 a.m. Thanksgiving morning.
I will,
I'll pick you up, Hector. I'm by and pick you up.
right.
If I weren't hosting the family party, I'd be there.
Yeah, I have to host.
I'm hosting too, ladies, so it's
I'm
really not,
hosting too.
there's no
You
excuses.
can come.
And
Depends
I
how
am
big the
planning
turkey-
on being there as well for 8 AM.
Good for you, guys. Jeez.
And I'm hosting as well,
Oh,
so.
but you're not working the turkey, are you?
Yes, I am.
You are?
Yes.
Oh, there you have it.
You can do it all.
All right,
Do it all.
everyone's
Some people
getting,
can.
Giddy. We are.
Okay, so, if there are no further questions or discussion?
Nope.
Take a vote. All those in favor of
Do we have to
approving?
first? Do we have to do roll call?
For a special permit, we don't have to.
You have to do roll call because he's remote. You have to do
Yeah,
every
so you have to do
vote
roll call for
Every
everything.
vote. I apologize. Thank you, Madam
Aye.
Clerk.
That's why I'm your clerk,
That's
buddy.
why I said, thank you, Madam Clerk.
All right.
So Hector is
I,
Ingeborg,
Aye.
Courtney,
Aye.
Megan,
I,
and chair votes aye. Let the record show it's unanimous. Thank you very much, ladies.
thank
And
you so much
again,
for doing
Thank
this.
you.
We're really
So
enthusiastic.
She's doing the thing. I don't know how to do that.
It's a Taylor Swift thing.
Something like this.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
have
you got
such
it.
trouble.
there we go. All right. So, moving on to our next item. It is the paint stewardship legislation resolution, and we do have a gentleman here, Thomas B. Irwin. So-
From Dalton. Did you come?
Yes, from Dalton.
Did you come all the way from Dalton?
I did.
Holy Mongoli.
You wanna come up here? You can turn that name placard away. There you go.
Very good. Thank you so much for letting me speak this evening on the subject of paint stewardship. As folks may know, my name is Tom Irwin. I am from Dalton. I am retired. And in my retirement, I wanted to participate in projects that had the potential to help future generations. So as a member of Dalton's Waste Management and Recycle Committee, when it became clear that paint stewardship would begin improving the waste problem most Massachusetts towns face, save towns money, and positively impact climate change, I became an advocate. But just quickly reviewing paint stewardship, which I think you folks have touched on previously, it is a program where unwanted latex or oil-based paint, as you will see in your first handout on the left-hand side, those items can be returned to any participating paint retail store any day the store is open, without a disposal cost, and without regard for where the paint was purchased. This program is voluntary for retailers. There is no arm twisting. As you can see in your second handout, retailers in Vermont freely come and go from the program as suits their business. The cost to consumers will be a 75-cent to $1 echo fee per gallon of paint paid at time of purchase. If you buy 5 gallons, it isn't $3.75, it's only $1.60. They're not trying to make you money, they're just trying to break even. The collected latex is hauled to reprocessing plants, reblended to like new condition, and sold for almost 50% of the original cost to entities such as Habitat for Humanity and Restore. The oil-based paints are most often used as coal fuel in cement plants, so the ash at the end ends up being integrated into the cement, so everything disappears. And as a result, these materials do not end up in landfill. This program has been working well in 10 states, including our neighboring states of Connecticut, Rhode Island, Maine, Vermont, and New York. We are just late to the party. The key benefits to Stow will be first, it's going to be a service Stow residents will value. Notably, roughly 40% of paint returned to paint retailers just over our borders in adjoining states with a law are receiving paint from Mass residents. Also, of nearly 1,000 residents dropping off items at household hazardous waste day events across the state, 91% signed petitions encouraging their legislators to become co-sponsors of this legislation. This suggests that 91% of people in Stow with paint in their basements, and likely there are many, would deeply appreciate having this law. Second, it's going to present no cost to Stow or any municipality and will decrease household hazardous waste day costs, freeing RDP money to allow Stow to use these monies for other important municipal waste issues. And third, paint stewardship is gonna be a great model for future stewardship legislation evaluation because it has the cooperation of the manufacturers, the retailers, the consumers, and the government agencies. If any EPR law can meet all four of those things, it's gonna be a snack to have everybody work well. The resolution being considered tonight, which is your third handout, is consistent with the state's plans. There is no arm twisting. The MMA is a supporter, as noted in their testimony to the Environment and Natural Resources Committee, which is highlighted in your fourth handout. The Mass DEP in their 2030 Solid Waste Master Plan, which is your fifth handout, calls out product DPR in general and paint DPR in particular as key contributors to moving the state towards zero waste. Of particular note, this master plan calls for a 30% reduction in waste by 2030 and a 90% reduction by 2050. Without stewardship programs, I find it hard to imagine how we can possibly achieve these goals. Support for this legislation is fortunately broad. The paint manufacturers and paint retailers who worked together with consumer groups over a period of 6 years to find language everybody could live with, crafted this law and are clearly supporters. Support also comes from the 91% of the many people with unwanted paint in their basements, the 28 reps and 12 senators who supported or co-sponsored this legislation, and with, as you'll see in handout 6, there are 96 municipalities to date that have passed similar resolutions or endorsements. So what is our next step? Legislators have made clear that in order for paint stewardship to receive serious consideration and the support of leadership to make it a law, municipalities must demonstrate that addressing the solid waste issue, beginning with paint stewardship, is a municipal priority. In July, 78 municipalities, which represented 27% of the state's population, had made statements of support. This caused the bill to be considered, but did not compel sufficient leadership support to send the bill to the floor for a vote. More support was clearly needed. Therefore, with this in mind, and since Stow residents will appreciate this law, and since this law will save Stow money, and since reducing waste is critical to our collective futures, I respectfully request the Stow Selectboard add their valued endorsement of paint stewardship by passing their supportive resolution. I thank you for your consideration and your attention.
Thank you. Are there any questions?
I have a question.
Please.
I'm surprised to hear that the legislature was reluctant to push this to the floor for a vote. Do you have the reasons against this?
It wasn't, it's all up to the Speaker of the House and the President of the Senate. And their reasons for not doing it are not necessarily clear. The only entity that is in opposition that we have any awareness to is the Retailers Association of Massachusetts, despite the non-objection of the paint retailers themselves. There have been a couple of newspaper articles in regard to their objections. And in the material that you may have seen previously, that was reviewed. And one of the things they said is that this is going to lead to more EPR legislation. And my response was, God, I hope so. They said it was going to be a tax, and it isn't a tax. It's a fee. It's part of the total life cycle cost of paint. I'm sure that they have an objection. They haven't made it clear, so it's hard for me to respond to why it is they don't like it. I can conjecture, but I don't have any good answer. But that is the only entity that I'm aware of that has any objection, because this thing was built on cooperation. It took 6 years of crime to get it there.
Okay, thank you.
How many more communities do you feel are needed with formal endorsements?
80.
80 more?
80 more.
Okay.
176 will give me over 50% of the municipalities in the state. And I'm engineering it, so it'll be over 50% of the population. And then I can boast that as a majority of the state wishes it, and it puts a special onus on the legislature.
Okay.
That's a lot.
It is.
Yeah.
I first of all want to commend you for the work that you're doing, and I genuinely mean that. Obviously, this has been a hell of a lot of work and time and effort, and it looks like it is taking the steps forward to fruition. To get it to the House Ways and Means is monumental in and of itself. So I really do commend you.
Thank you.
For your work on this. I will hold any other comments. Any,
I don't really know. This is
Hector, any comments or? You're muted.
Only to echo what you said, I'm really glad that someone took the initiative to do this, and I appreciate the effort.
Thank you.
Do you have any?
I think it's a wonderful idea. That's why I was wondering why someone wouldn't. So
Okay.
And I too think it's a wonderful idea and a great service to all our communities, to our state.
I echo all of what you all are saying, and I also do feel that it will be a cost benefit, not just to the town, but to the residents. And once this is passed in short term as well as long term. So those are my comments.
If it were in effect today, I would be happy.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
I
We
would
all
be
have-
rolling
Very
stuff
happy.
right down, probably barbershops.
right, let's carpool.
All right,
Ready for a motion?
yes, I am ready for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to support and sign the paint stewardship legislation resolution presented at this meeting.
Second.
Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none. All those in favor, Hector?
Aye.
Ingeborg?
Aye.
Courtney?
Aye.
Megan?
Aye.
And JT votes aye. Let the record show it's unanimous. We will sign the resolution and
Thank
thank
you.
you very much.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Thank
Thank you very much.
You driving
Appreciate
around
it.
the whole state and doing this?
I am.
You going to the Cape?
I cheated
and-
initially and did the Berkshire County and the Pioneer Valley, but
Yeah.
I've kind of exhausted that mine, so I've had to sneak further east.
Can't you go by Zoom? Or you
Um,
wanna see people the whites of their eyes?
this is an important matter.
Yeah.
This is not something where you can swing and miss.
Mhm.
And so I feel that I need to demonstrate passion that you can only demonstrate in person.
Mhm.
So I'm here.
Well done.
Well done,
Yeah.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bravo.
Thank you very much.
Bravo.
So we will send that to you,
As a PDF?
yes, and then we'll
That's
send it to
wonderful.
our local legislators as well.
Much appreciated.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
absolutely.
Thank you, drive
Thank you.
careful.
Thank you.
Yes, safe travels home.
Thank you.
All right, the next thing we have is a really exciting topic of police policies and procedures.
I don't know why we keep seeing you outside. And it's,
Well,
I know
I
it's
think it's a
opening
pleasure
live.
to keep seeing you
The
all.
opening live,
too.
as you know, I told you.
Yes, I'll change that, and, you know, I'll just say we're back again.
We're back
Just for a
again.
visit.
Just for a visit, and I'll wait for the chair to.
Oh, yes, you're being so formal.
In this
I'm laughing,
case,
I even give you theme songs.
since there are two separate motions, I'm gonna hold and allow the presentation from you folks if you wish to present at this
Sure.
point.
So to start, I wanna reference the letter that I sent to you about why we're here. And really, I was able to get a clarifying answer on that missing policy from, which is 5.08, there was that missing number,
Yes.
which had to deal with roadblocks, basically sobriety checkpoints. And we found that if we don't do it, then we don't have to have any sort of accreditation part of it as part of the policy. So we can just say we don't allow it. And I would be requesting that the board just support the fact that I don't want to put us out there as a police department to do sobriety checkpoints. I am very, I'm very much against drinking and driving, but I think that needs to be followed by like reasonable suspicion to stop a vehicle, not just unreasonable suspicion at a checkpoint where you're just driving through. This doesn't negate the fact that the state police can come in and they can absolutely do it without our permission. They have jurisdiction across all 351 cities and towns. but for our officers to go out there and to run it. And it's quite costly, it's not something easily done, it's quite costly, you have to do a lot of advertisement, you have to have a booking procedure in place, and it's not something that's, I find a value here in Stow. I find the value is the officers enforcing the drunk driving laws as necessary, not us just, again, stopping a car without reasonable suspicion. As far as the other policies, Kelly, do you wanna talk about them?
Sure, so as kind of like the last ones, I'm going through every single one of our policies and I'm just taking the series and our policies are, some of them are very outdated. The language doesn't even exist or shouldn't exist, and so every policy I go through, we're on to the one series, and that's a huge series. There's almost 100 I think in there, so we're just gonna give you guys like 5, maybe 10 at a time and roll through them. So the first one is the response to calls. Everything that you guys know that's highlighted in the yellow, that is in conjunction with MPAC. That's kind of the language that we have to have for what they believe. Anything in red is something that we added that was new, and anything that was read and struck out, that was gonna be an old language that was removed. We were lucky in our starting of our one policies that we kind of already had some updated language, so just to kind of, dust the, other stuff off, it turned out really well. And then with doing this, we get to get rid of other policies because we had so much duplication. We can bring them into kind of what we have and dismiss a couple of other ones. So that's basically where we're at. I think we had a couple of 5s in there. Do we have a 5?
it's all
Yeah, the 5, all the traffic. So 5 had to do with anything you can think of traffic related, and same went for your yellow, your impact language, and red new and knocked out. So and that's it. If you guys have any questions, I'll happily answer, since I know these like the back of my hand.
And it doesn't stop here either, like once we go back, Kelly and the accreditation team have to go through it. They have to take each standard that you see in the policy, remove, take that one page, that standard together, and then they have to categorize it into its own folder. So, cause when we get audited, they wanna say, if I wanna look at, 42.2.1, where is that standard and which policy is it in? So we have to pull that one thing out. So this is just like, you're just seeing like the beginning steps of us getting towards that certification and accreditation. And like,
This is the longest part of accreditation
Yeah.
and certification, is making sure we have all the policies all updated and that are needed for the standards in order to continue. So this is the longest process.
and there's a lot of general orders that we're able to remove now and just incorporate it right into our policies. And then that way, the officers only have to, they don't have to remember like a book this big, maybe about this big. But they still, we still have to know it all, but.
I think I need reading glasses after the last,
Yeah.
the last ones at this point, so.
Yeah, the next one, like, use of force is like 45 pages in and of itself.
That, they say that takes about 6 months by itself, just doing that one standard. So, we're getting there.
They're getting there.
I wanna cry, but we're getting there.
It's just great that you're doing this.
Hector, do you have any questions or comments?
I did have one question, are we talking about all of them or just the specific one? Okay. In section, policy 106, section 3A9, it specifies tape recording. And I was surprised that video recording or just general recording wasn't listed.
106, under A9. Where are you looking?
It says take notes or tape record the interview.
Tape record the interview. Well, I can tell you that we may have to make some changes. Right now, our department, for us to videotape something is not available for interviews. Part of the grant that we got to become accredited incorporated station upgrades, and I think when we first started going for this, I talked to this board about, we're gonna go through this and it's gonna cost the station upgrades. Part of that was a grant we received to do accreditation, and 60,000 of that is going to be used for video and audio recording. So we're gonna have two different rooms that are video and recorded. The booking room and all the cells, that's gonna be obviously recorded audio and video. The training room in the station and the conference room that we have where people come in is going to be on a switch where we can put it on and it'll be audio and video recorded, but not audio and video recorded all the time. So people are notified. So once that happens, then we can incorporate that in. And one of the last things that, we'll probably be asking the board is, if we make minor changes like that, would you like us to come back in front, or would a letter suffice? Instead of coming back for something like that, we wanna add in a recording, a video recording. So that's something that I'd like to work on for later, but the plan is we just signed the contract for them to come in to do that work, and that's all gonna be, it's not gonna be like a DVR, it's gonna be to the cloud too, which is really great. And it includes the service and recording and everything, and all the installation and a panic button in our booking, everything that we need for accreditation so we get the building up. Our evidence room will have a camera inside and outside of it now. All our critical areas will have those cameras that we need. I hope that answers your.
Well, this is also too, just so, if you read the entire thing, this is interviewers for victims and witnesses. That's different than interviewing somebody who's under arrest or a suspect. So, that is not, we do not have to, do it under audio or video. We're not obligated to. And there are some, people, when we interview them, that to actually, video and audio tape them, an assault victim, a sexual assault, a domestic violence, those generally, we just take notes. So, and it's to not traumatize them anymore. So that is why that specific section, because it's not a suspect. We're talking about people who are, who are victims of crimes and are just, maybe they saw a car accident. We are not obligated, under Giambattista, and we're interviewing suspects, that's a different realm. So that's why when you're reading it, like, I can look at the policy and be like, all right, well, this one is for these people, so that's why we don't do that, so. But that's specific to that one.
And it doesn't restrict you to physical tape recording, you can do digital audio recording?
Yeah,
And-
a
yeah,
digital
anyway.
recorder.
Okay,
I personally,
That's all.
when I did it, I like to record because, you wanna have that personal conversation with somebody and, I don't have to stop and take notes, you just have it going and then you can get a good transcript of it later.
No,
Yeah, I think it's just dependent,
Clarification,
yeah.
Great tool.
Right.
so because it is different standards for a
Absolutely.
victim versus a suspect.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was just also concerned because it said tapes, I wasn't sure if you're restricted to actually having like a cassette tape, which would
Some
look fun.
we still do somewhere, I know I definitely do, but I wouldn't use it,
I wouldn't use it.
but yeah.
So
You
can I,
use
so
phones.
could the word tape be removed from that section, so it just
Sure.
says recorded? So under number 9 and then 9B, just remove tape and leave it as record?
Yeah, I think it probably, probably in the realm of having the policy written, like tape recording means just
But yeah,
It's not
audio-
literal as a tape
audio-
recorder,
Yeah,
but-
right, audio recording, but yeah, we can change the verbiage, that's fine.
Yeah, just remove tape,
Yeah.
yeah, because then it leaves you all the options actually.
Yeah.
Note of that, so I remember.
Did you, all right, Hector, did you have any other insights or questions?
That's all I had.
Okay. I'm gonna go this way. Megan,
Very questions, there's so much.
Courtney,
I have no questions.
or comments?
Thank you for going through everything.
I have one comment.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The only comment I have to make is, as I said to you before the meeting, and I'll just make it public as well, I really do feel like this really does clarify in the procedural stuff. And in my days gone by, when I used to do this fun stuff, I wished I had this to work with, quite frankly. So thank you for this. I know it's a monumental effort. And thanks for the long hours and the bleary eyes that go along with it.
Yes, thank you.
I will take a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the updates to the police policies and procedures 5.0 traffic as provided by the police chief.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Can we just clarify really quickly on that? Do you guys want a memo or are we
Oh.
amending it to that? So I just wanna make sure we're gonna amend that one word.
Oh, yeah, you should say as
As
amended,
amended.
yeah.
This is 5.0 that you're talking about, right? Not 1.0.
That's right.
Correct. Just going with my script here. I would have probably gone one first, but it's,
Well, I think
So-
you could say as discussed this evening,
Yeah.
because that was discussed as the change. So you could, instead of amending, you could just say as discussed.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the updates to the police policies and procedures 5.0 traffic as provided by the police chief and discussed this evening.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hector?
Aye.
Ingeborg?
Aye.
Courtney?
Aye.
Megan?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Let the record show it's unanimous.
And now I move to approve the updates to police policies and procedures 1.03 through 1.06 operations as provided by the police chief and as discussed at this meeting.
Second.
Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none. Hector?
Aye.
Ingeborg?
Aye.
Courtney?
Aye.
Megan?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Let the record show that it is unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Hope to see you in
Thank
2
you,
weeks.
Kelly.
Yeah.
2 weeks maybe?
I
think it's 3
We have 3 weeks.
We've got homework, we gotta read, we gotta read
Halloween.
a different book.
Yeah. Happy Halloween.
Yes, I know.
Thank you.
They'll be at Stow Case, so when all of you come to support us, they'll be there.
It's on my calendar.
Be there.
I'll be there. I'll be there. I'm gonna use that day to vote.
Excellent.
There we go. Okay, moving on to our next item on the agenda, setting the liquor, common victualler, and class 2 license fees for 2025. I will take a motion on this to start since we don't really have a presentation.
Okay, there's a few of them, so just do them one at a time, or do you want all the motions?
I think it shows me, let's do them, read them all at once.
Okay.
We'll run them all, but
Okay. I move that liquor license fees for 2025 be approved as discussed in this meeting. And I move that common victualler license fees for 2025 be approved as discussed in this meeting. And in addition, I move that class 2 used auto sales license fees for 2025 be approved as discussed in this meeting.
Second, sorry.
and you're seconding all of those, to clarify.
Second.
Wait a second.
Wait a second.
Okay.
Proceed
So-
a second.
It has been moved and seconded. Discussion, comments? We have in front of us, thank you Denise, for the work on this, the fee comparisons of towns, and I'm assuming similar to us, more or less.
Yes and no, towns that we had, that we could find the information, a lot of them were, I tried to find the surrounding towns. So it's sort of a compilation of just a random section of the state, just to see the differences and what other folks are charging.
Okay, and it shows on the bottom in blue the averages and in the red where Stow sits. So my thought is for the common victualler fees, right now we're at 40, the average is 79.38. I would say bump that to 80 to be within the average.
I believe in the past, we may have discussed keeping a lower fee because we do not have a lot of restaurants in town. And we don't feel the need to penalize our restaurants with high fees when they're serving our townspeople.
Okay.
I think and on that note, I think the discussion was that should we should we get more restaurants at some point, we would gladly revisit that fee structure, but it felt wrong to penalize the few businesses that we had that were doing that. So I think that's why we've kept it there.
I could see going up to 50.
Okay.
I mean, Denise, do you have any input in any of these?
I don't. The chair asked me previously, my thoughts. I mean, honestly, the revenue that we would make from this is negligible, so it's whatever you all feel. I would say, I mean, I do think the common vic is extremely low. If you look at this area of the state, I mean, they were all sort of at the $100 level. Now, I don't think you should jump up to that much, but I do think 40 is relatively low for an annual. I mean, that's for 12 months. Just in general, obviously, class 2, we are already maxed out, so there's nothing more to discuss on class 2 because you were at the highest level. And then the liquor licenses are fairly all over the place. So, you know, it's not like we're looking to make money off of this. It really doesn't have a huge impact. So however the board feels, I support.
Hector, do you have any comments?
Well, the common vic, I could see us going to 50 like Ingeborg suggested. But yeah, since this isn't, we're not actually looking to make money off of this, I'm just thinking that it'd be nice to come up to par with our surrounding towns, but I also don't want to hurt our existing businesses. So going up $10 seems to be reasonable.
Okay.
Yeah, we could increment yearly for a while too, you know, if we felt like it.
Okay.
And as far as the other licenses go, it seems like we're around the median. Well, I guess the wine and malt were on the low side, but again, I don't see us needing to punish our businesses.
I agree with that. Acton. Jeez, I'm pazing. Westwood.
Okay. So,
Acton has a strong business presence.
It does.
Yeah, they do.
So they make more money off of it.
okay. So, other than the common victualler fees, we're saying then that, if I understand correctly, that we're gonna hold all the other fees, or do we wanna go individually with them and take a quick look?
So,
Do we have any premises that just do wine and malt?
yeah, I was gonna ask that question.
No, I don't believe so. I think that's why we kept it, the $1,000.
How many all alcohol? It's just the one restaurant in Plaza.
And Fourth and Field, right?
Oh, Fourth and Field.
Yeah, Fourth and Field, so that we have 2 restaurants.
Yeah, I wouldn't make anything higher for them.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pull up the licenses.
Okay.
Would the wine and malt on premises apply to the orchards when they have their pouring licenses? When they have their ABC?
Yes, yes, you're right. They want, so only one, because only one has the full liquor license
So far.
so far.
So I think, since those are farms, it would be good to keep that low for now.
I agree.
Okay. And package store, everybody's happy with that?
Yeah, it's above the average.
Yep.
No.
So I will just say all of the golf courses have on-premise full liquor licenses.
This is this
Yeah.
one.
So it's more than
okay.
just the 2 restaurants.
Okay, alright, that makes sense.
And Russell's would have been the only wine and malt package store?
Yes. No, Colonial's,
Buscemi's.
oh no, they have all alcohol.
They have all
Yeah,
alcohol.
Yeah, Buscemi's and Colonial is all
Buscemi's.
alcohol.
Oh, right, that's right.
Okay.
All right, we made ourselves $10.
Yeah. Okay,
Get some Halloween candy.
Pays our wages.
Well, you'll make
With a
one,
$10 profit.
2, 3, we have
How many?
3 common victualler licenses.
Okay.
30 minutes.
They get more Halloween candy.
That's right.
So do we need a vote now then?
Yeah, we do.
So,
So is there any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, so all the fees will stay except for the common victualler fees, which are going up to $50. Hector,
Aye.
Megan,
Aye.
Courtney,
Aye.
Inglewood.
aye.
Chair votes aye, let the record show it's unanimous. Thank
Do we
you.
need to do 3 ayes, 1 for each motion?
Oh, aye.
Aye, aye, aye.
They read it as, it was read as one
That is
motion.
one motion.
It was read as one motion though.
But he made me
Okay,
second it
that's-
3 times.
Just checking.
Aye. All right.
Okay, our next item is the board discussion of the Boy Scout trailer request.
Yes.
This is not a vote, it's simply just a discussion to see where we're at, and also to give some direction to Madam Administrator as to how we would like to proceed with research on this. We've gone through this before. And do you have the recap of what we did?
I can pull up the minutes, yes. So at the January meeting, I think it was January, the board discussed how to handle this. He talked about putting forth a policy, looking at the other entities, and then in the end, you ended up tabling the discussion. But I'll pull up the minutes as if you want to chat amongst yourselves while I do that.
So as I recall, there was some concern, but I don't remember what the concern was, that, I think, didn't you have a concern or
Yes,
expressed a
there were,
concern?
yeah, I had expressed the concern of going down a slippery slope of this nature of starting to put out municipal land for private entities, considering it's at a premium in and of itself. I also felt that parking spaces at the community center are limited when we have large events as it is, and felt that that's really, I had a good deal of concern about that aspect, because if we chose to do it for one entity, we're then opening it up for other entities who have expressed interest of spaces at the community center as well, so I had some real concerns concerning that. Since the discussion, we did receive 2 letters in correspondence with concern that the Scouts are actually affiliated on a religious basis, and felt it would be inappropriate to use municipal land.
So Hector has his hand raised, and if you'd like, I can read your excerpts from the minutes.
Okay, Hector, why don't I take your,
Actually, why don't we hear the excerpts from the minutes first, because I'm gonna refer to that probably in my comments.
okay?
Board members discussed the request and said it would be using taxpayer municipal property for a private, not-for-profit purpose, even though this nonprofit serves the community. If this were allowed, the board would have to set up a policy and a rental agreement. Also, it is assumed that part of the rental agreement for renting a room inside includes use of the outside area for parking. The lot is full for many events at Pompo. The board did not make a decision and tabled the item.
Okay, that's a good summary, thank you.
I'll add that I remember us also discussing definitely not using the parking lot, because the parking lot had limited room, but looking into the possibility of some of the unpaved areas, if they could be gravelled or somehow reinforced, and rental fees could be charged to store trailers there, similar to renting the room as the Boy Scouts do. I'm concerned about
Excuse
if
me,
we
I just
suddenly
wanna,
start saying we can't let the Boy Scouts store a trailer there because they're religious affiliated. Are we now kicking the Boy Scouts out of the community center? Because they're really,
just to clarify, they're given the rooms free of charge. They are not charged to use the rooms at this point.
And can I just clarify, we're not religious affiliated at all. There's no religious affiliation with Scouting America. None. We're sponsored by Troop 1 Stow alumni, a group of citizens. There's no religious affiliation.
The Boy Scouts of America are,
It's
and
Scouting America now, it's not the Boy Scouts of America because they've added girls to the program, and they're not affiliated. They're not affiliated with any religious organization.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
I do wanna ask one more clarification.
Mhm.
Just remind me, is it just one trailer?
It's one trailer.
One
That's
trailer that would fit in one spot?
Yes.
Thank you. So I do know that the policy at Pompo is that all nonprofits don't pay a fee. Cause I remember when we put that policy together, and I've been a nonprofit that used that building and we didn't pay a fee. So that's consistent for the use of the building. And then we're talking about, I know Pompo just expanded and added, what, 2 more spaces for the, 3 more spaces? For who was that? Forget. Cause the commission
that's for the vans, I believe.
the vans, thank you. Okay, so the vans are now in the back.
The vans are in the back overnight. During the day, they park along the side so that they can get in and out, but for storage at night and whatnot, they park under the carport that we've expanded and built.
Right, with Concom's approval.
Yes.
Well, we may have to go back to the recording, but I distinctly remember us discussing the possibility of providing some space off the paved area that Boy Scouts could park their trailer.
I have some
That
recollection
needed
of
to
that.
be looked into.
Yeah, I remember the conversation and being a little confused. At the at the response, I mean, I remember thinking, to me, this is not a big deal, but there was clearly a lot of concern raised at the meeting. So, I mean, I don't wanna, go ahead.
Do we know if other entities have spoken specifically and requested space, and or if do we have a sense of how many other groups would make this kind of a request
For dedicated parking?
for storage on the community center property for
So we
Okay.
have, I mean, we've had groups ask for storage inside the building that we've said no to, that they can't be storing stuff in cabinets and whatnot. To my knowledge, we have not had anyone request to have dedicated parking. We did have 4 spaces in the front that were dedicated for the fire department, and those have been removed to make more public, I'll say public access space. I will also add that, if you'll recall, a couple months ago, we received a grant for EV charging stations, and they will be in the community center parking lot along 117, that side. So there will be a space occupied for EV charging, but no other requests have come into my knowledge for the parking areas.
I also recall there was a discussion that the Stow Food Pantry, which is not a town government entity, is storing stuff there, which makes sense. But along the same lines, it would make sense if the Boy Scouts could put their trailer off the parking lot into the grass. That would be, it wouldn't take up any parking space, and that would be helpful to them.
Yeah, I would have to see the size of the trailer. We don't have a lot of grass, so I'd have to see where that
Where
could
that is,
go.
Unless it's the back or you
No,
jump the curb or something?
Well, the back though is where the Concom has dedicated spaces, and then that's the emergency egress for the fire station. I mean,
That's what we were discussing in January, was someone taking a look to see if there is somewhere off the parking lot
Okay.
that a trailer could be stored.
yeah, if
Does it even take up a full spot?
It does take up a
Takes
full
up full
spot, it's a
spot.
really
Okay.
good sized trailer.
I mean, I'm happy if that's what the board would like to explore, if there's parking, I'm not aware of much that could be done there.
I have been really quiet. May I speak for a second? I've been very careful about how I speak because I removed myself from this, so I'm gonna continue to be careful. My son is a member of Troop 1, and so I wanna, obviously anything I say I'm not affiliated with Troop 1 in that way, but I think that if the concern is that, if the bigger concern for all of this, we take the scouts out of it, and the bigger concern of all of this is that we're opening up a Pandora's box for any kind of a nonprofit to be able to come in and use space, then why don't we explore putting a policy in that is a small rental fee for outdoor space? That to me seems feasible. If the indoor space, and that seems like something that, and I'm talking a very small fee, like, but if that's
be waived.
that could be waived. Do you know what I mean? But if that really is the sticking point where we're just like, we're worried that everyone's gonna ask, so then we put in place that there's something there, that like we have something in place that, you know, you will have to pay a fee if you want this outdoor space for whatever. I just feel like we're being punitive for a problem that we don't actually really have right now, that could potentially come down the pike in the future. And to me, it doesn't feel very community spirited, which the community center, for all of the things that it does, I don't always feel like is a community center, as someone who is in this community. And I don't feel like it's always a place that I am able to use as a member of the community. And I genuinely feel that way. And so if it's something that the scouts want to be able to use that space because they are part of the community and they are asking to be able to put their trailer there, or the food pantry is doing something, or another group is doing something, then we should be able to work with those groups and find something. And I just.
So when you say open space, are you talking about taking up parking spaces?
But I don't understand why. Again, I feel like it feels like we're, again, being punitive for a problem that I don't know is a problem right now. Like it feels like we're creating a problem that's not a problem. So if we take up 2 parking spaces, I just don't.
What I have expressed my concern over is it's a very dangerous precedent.
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is we can overstep, like, we can cover ourselves with that dangerous precedent by saying there is a fee structure or there is something in place. We're putting a policy in place. We're not just saying anybody can have it. We're saying, yes, you can have outdoor parking and you pay a fee for having the outdoor parking.
But you're saying.
And then we also have the opportunity to waive that fee if we want to.
I would differ from you in this. By creating a policy and saying, here's our fee structure, somebody can rent a parking space in our lot. We've got 300 spaces, so we get 25 people that say, okay, I'd like to rent a space. We've got a policy, we've got a fee structure. We can't say, oh, no, you can't rent it. You know, we're beginning to run out. So we could get, you know, over a long period of time, more than we would like. And by creating a structure with it for this to happen, we might be asked by another group, and we'll have to then say some reason that they're not up to, I mean, it could be the Scouts ask first.
Right, exactly. I was gonna say, to the extent that there's available space.
I mean, the
And-
lot is very tight and
Yeah.
much of it is paved
Yeah.
and, you know, my wetlands hat says, well, you know, conservation hat says, there's nothing here that's not within the jurisdiction of the Concom. Or, you know, I mean, forgive me for suggesting this, but the neighbor to the east in the back has a very large lot. And if there were a way to access that and make an agreement with that, it would make a huge amount of sense to me, because it would be off the parking area, it would sort of get rid of this whole thing, and you could perhaps negotiate a space for your trailer that was right there. And I don't know if that's just a weird, stupid idea.
Well, I think there are wetlands between, right, cause we needed a permit for the carport, so there's wetlands either between the property lines
Yeah.
or
There's
fairly
wetlands to the
close.
north and west, but I don't know about east.
I think immediately east there is not, like
Yeah, I
right
think-
along 117, that house right there, that used to be owned by the Malone family.
Right,
Yeah, they recently sold it.
right.
Can I-
Well,
Oh,
sorry.
No.
Oh,
Sorry.
he has her hand up.
I was going to suggest if we do start looking into policies, we could reword the policy so that we don't just rent it to anybody who applies, but we rent it to the storage space to anybody that's actively using the community center, which the Scouts are. They're actively using it for once a week, once a month, I don't know how often they meet. And that's why they're looking for the storage, so that they don't have to keep hauling their stuff back and forth every time they meet. If we're not making the storage space available for someone because they don't have room in their driveway to park their car or their trailer, we're making storage space available for someone for a group that's actively using the community center and doesn't wanna have to keep hauling their trailer back and forth every time.
My turn?
Ingeborg, are you done, Hector? I'm sorry.
Yes, I am.
I like that idea. I would make this suggestion. We have a policy for the use of the interior space. It was a lot of, what is the word? When we developed that policy, the rooms were packed. I mean, people cared, and
But it's very outdated,
it
so.
is, I would suggest that we update that policy and have one or two sentences that have to do with support use to nonprofits that use the Pompo Center. And that support could be maybe a parking spot, maybe interior storage, I mean, like the food pantry. And so that way we could start, and then the Boy Scouts could work within that policy to, and maybe it's not year-round storage, you know, it's, anyway, I just think if we start there, we have something to start with, and we had gotten public input on that with respect to nonprofit use.
Okay, if we're gonna be updating the policy and things like that, I'd actually like to see our Madam Administrator research what other municipalities are doing in that venue, as far as what you're suggesting. And also, does it make sense to have council look at it? I just wanna make sure we're not opening up that Pandora's box, that's all,
No one's knocked yet, only one group is knocked. And it's nonprofit, and,
Well, but again, we have had other groups asked to use indoor storage and we've said no,
well,
because we really don't have capacity for people to
and
just.
that's a
so
capacity thing,
keep
so we would have to
stuff.
say the same assessment for any other supporting use.
Yeah, I mean, I would likely have council review whatever final draft you have, because it does become a gray area if you put in there a condition that you can waive fees, then it's like, well, who do you waive them for, and how do you justify if you're waiving it for this nonprofit but not for this nonprofit? How do you decide who gets space inside, how do you decide who gets space outside? So I would want council to review it just to make sure there's no, I don't wanna say discrimination, but there's no discrimination present on how you're deciding what to waive and what not to waive. I don't know what other policies exist, I'll send something out, but it's kind of an odd situation, so I don't know that I'll get anything. But I can certainly, it will take a bit to look at the existing Pompo interior sort of agreement, because we've talked about it for the 4 years I've been here and all the issues that, not issues, but issues that have come up because of that policy, and that we're not following a lot of it. It's outdated, it puts it in the hands of the facilities department, but yet recreation is renting the space. It's just, we really need to work through it internally and figure out what the right.
Didn't the select board put that policy together?
You did, but then it would put it into the hands of the facilities department to oversee, but yet the recreation department is renting the spaces, and so even now we're having difficulty because of the policy and the requirements, and one department is renting the space, the other department is supposed to be providing custodial services, and they're not communicating, and we don't have staff to, it's been a lot just dealing with how to handle the space itself.
Let's get it revised. Let's get it revised.
Yeah. So, it may be that for the time being, if this is a pressing matter, we focus on just the exterior while we revise the interior, and then we can couple them together. But I don't know that we'll be able to, just given special town meeting and whatnot coming up, that we'll be able to have a revised sort of use of Pompo policy quickly enough to meet any goals that you want on this matter. But we can certainly start working on it. So however you'd like me to proceed, I can start. If you want me to do something for the exterior, I can do that.
I would like to suggest that if we can start looking into what other municipalities do, and also if there is other space available that's off the paved area, if that is practical. But yes, moving forward, if we have some policy that allows entities that are using the community center on a recurring and frequent basis are allowed to have limited storage capacity inside and outside the premises.
Right, and that's where town council would have to come in and advise once we develop that. I'm of the opinion to see if maybe with Denise's suggestion, to look at the outside for now. I agree, trying to do the inside right now is, unless people feel like we have the luxury to spend a little bit of time and to try to get this together, so it encompasses that area.
Well, our
I
esteemed
don't, I feel
former
like they're
selectman has been waiting quite a long time for us to bring this back onto the agenda. So we had the conversation a long time ago. And, to make him wait through a continued long process is kind of tough. I would say that,
True, but I also, I don't wanna be hasty in
No.
anything that we do or formulate, so do we then wanna take a look at just the outside for right now and see if there's anything out there from other municipalities who may have something or some sort of a policy or guidances that they use to come back so we could move forward with that aspect of it in a fairly expeditious manner. And then deal with the interior later, as Madam Administrator had mentioned, and then we can join them together.
Would it make any sense to do something on a trial basis for a limited time and see what the repercussions were, with the full understanding that we could say, all right, we don't think this worked, or we could say, great, so far so good, or we could say something else.
I have an add-on to that. Is there a parking concern at Pompo?
I mean, we do fill up for a number of events. Now, will one parking space impact it? Probably not.
What kind of events?
A number of the COA events, AA fills up quite a bit of the parking lot.
They don't use the building anymore?
No,
No.
not since COVID. And then just town events like the fairs, the flea markets and things that are happening. I hope Stow Case will fill up the parking lot. So we do have a number of times throughout the year that is fairly full. Now, I mean, there are parking spaces, not a lot, in the back. I don't know that, I think the employees tend to park back there to free up the front spaces, but I will look, so if I think a trial is fine, but I still think we need some sort of documentation, liability. I mean, the winter's coming, if it's gonna be there in the winter, what about snow plowing? Are we plowing it out? What if it's, so I think we still need to have some sort of parameters in place. But I think for your next meeting, I will go down there and look and see if there is any non-paved space that could be utilized. I can't think of any, but I will walk the site and look, and I will look and see that if there is parking, if you are going to dedicate parking, I would make a recommendation on what parking area would be best. So I can have, again, I don't know that any towns do anything, but I can certainly have that information for you. And if not, I can put some parameters together for you to review. Now, I will say we do have a full November 12th meeting, but I can add that on there for discussion.
If we have a full November 12th meeting, what's our next meeting after that?
The week of Thanksgiving, the 26th. I guess, I mean, it just depends what kind of discussion you will need to have. We do have the tax classification at the next meeting. We have the fire department policies. We are doing a Stow Acres update. I don't remember what else off the top of my head.
What is our agenda looking like for the 26th?
I don't, off the top of my head, I don't remember.
Yeah, there's a spot behind. I don't know how that they can park in.
Oh, and also next meeting, you have the Green Advisory Committee.
Yeah, no, let's go to
The 26th, right now, you have the license renewals for the Common Vic and Class 2.
Pretty quick.
And that's all we have on there at the moment.
Let's put it on the 26th.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if there was closed recycle thing could be,
Yeah, that's the spot that I'm thinking.
I know if we could position that a little better.
Well, I would think just by looking at it, and again, I would say maybe that spot right before the clothing bin.
Right.
Would probably be where I would recommend, but again, I wanna just sort of walk it again and get a better idea of the site.
Cause I don't think I see cars parking there.
We do, there are cars that park in that front section, a lot of our volunteers.
No. I mean, in that one spot.
Oh, in that one spot, I don't know. I don't know that I've
You
looked.
don't know.
I don't know that I've looked that,
When
but
I'm there
the
for the food
volunteers
pantry,
park
that's
there.
where I used to throw the trash out.
Okay, so we'll do the 26th. And we'll move it, and then And after you look at it and things of that nature, we can discuss whether we wanna have it just as a further discussion or take a discussion and vote at that point in time, depending upon what comes up.
Mr. Burnfeld has his hand up.
I understand.
Yes, I think we can certainly do that, yes,
Okay.
that's fine.
Final comment?
Just in terms of context, the Stow Scouts that we're talking about here, that would make use of the trailer, it's 4 different organizations. It's PAC 39, which is the Cub Scouts, the younger Scouts. There's a group called Crew 1923 that meets there every other Wednesday.
What was that number? I'm sorry.
It's Crew 1923, it's a venture crew, part of Scouting America also. And Troops 1 boys and Troop 1 girls, 2 separate units. They meet together, but they function as 2 separate units. So in terms of context, it's more than once a week. It can be up to 3 times a week, but they all have kind of staggered schedules. The boys and girls troops meet regularly every week. The other two areas groups meet off and on every couple of weeks or every month. So just in terms of context, just so you know. And they're all sponsored, represented, called chartering. They're all chartered by a group of alumni scouts, including myself, from the town. So there's no religious affiliation, there's nothing like that at all. So that's kind of the first thing I wanted to clarify. The second thing is, back about 2 months ago, the COA had that, so if you're thinking of where that closed donation box is, there are 6 spots, actually there's 12 spots right there, right next to the building that they use for kitchen and everything. There were 6 spots there that had the signs that say COA bans, right, don't use these spots. They moved that sign back and it's now the front 3. So there's 3 additional spots that are now open. So, you know, in my head, I'm thinking, even if you let us use 1 spot, you still have 2 more than you did last year when I asked you about this, right? And to your point, if you let us use 1 spot, is that gonna? It's not gonna solve your parking problems, but it's probably not gonna make them any worse either, right? And it is an absolute hardship for us not to have any kind of storage there. We meet there every week. We update our equipment, we maintain our equipment, we have to bring equipment back from outings. It's a real hardship not to have any storage whatsoever. And all we have stored there right now are our 2 flags. That's what we have stored at Papa. So it would be very helpful to us to be able to get into our equipment when we need to.
Okay.
And we are happy to pay a fee too.
Well,
As long as it's not thousands of dollars, we don't have that kind of dough.
Before we even get into that
I'm just
stuff.
saying, we're open to that option as well, we're not
Okay,
asking.
no,
for-
I appreciate that, but let's work on this aspect of it and see how we can move it forward. As far as what the board would like to do. Okay, the next item on our agenda, because I'd like to move this along.
So we'll revisit on the 26th, right?
Minutes.
I'm sorry?
Oh, you just said the next item on our
It's the
agenda
minutes,
says
yeah.
the minutes.
Yep, the minutes, 1st of October 1st, and then you'll.
Good night.
October 8th. So can I get a motion?
Yes, sir. I move to accept the meeting minutes of the October 1st, 2024 meeting.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Hector, any discussion?
Nope.
Seeing and hearing none. Hector,
Aye.
Ingeborg,
Aye.
Courtney,
I believe I was absent for that meeting, and in the current tradition, I will abstain.
okay. Okay,
Aye.
and the board votes aye. Let the record show that we have a majority.
The chair votes aye, not
Chair
the
Yes.
votes
board.
aye.
Yeah, the chair votes aye. What did I say?
The
You said the
board,
board.
Oh, the
but the
board.
board did vote aye, but only if you had said aye.
Getting a little punchy, okay.
And we all
Yeah.
are getting punchy. It's not even that late.
Now I move to accept the meeting minutes of the October 8th, 2024 meeting.
Second.
Discussion?
Yay, Joyce.
Yeah, you Joyce is right. Seeing and hearing none. Hector,
Aye.
Ingeborg,
Aye.
Courtney,
Aye.
Megan.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Let the record show it is unanimous. Any comments on board correspondence?
I'm heartbroken, Verizon and Comcast have nothing to tell us.
What a shame.
I'll reach out and see if there's anything they need to share with you, Hector.
Yeah.
Say the board's
I'll be
real
happy to
curious.
sign up for the ride-along.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yes. Okay, and then I will.
We have to
Motion to adjourn,
Second.
sir.
Hector,
Aye.
Ingeborg,
Aye.
Courtney,
Aye.
Megan.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Denise, do I need to